Hey you. Yeah, you. Can I interest you in battle rifles? Battle rifles are actually freaking epic. They're assault rifles, but they fire rifle cartridges. See, unlike wimpy assault rifles that fire intermediate cartridges like the 5.56, battle rifles can use 7.62 rounds like the true chads they are. All jokes aside, battle rifles are great in Phantom Forces, except barely anyone uses them. The first battle rifle you unlock is the Beowulf ECR at rank 21. To be honest, it's alright. It's a 50 cal, if you like that, but it only has 10 rounds because of that, and it has a lot of vertical recoil. I use this gun by tap firing a lot because of that recoil, but I do leave it in auto. Since it is a 2-shot up close, there's no reason to not leave it in auto. This gun requires a bit of skill and thinking to use, so I wouldn't recommend it unless you know what you're doing. If you have a good trigger discipline and don't rush fights, it's a very rewarding gun. Now there is the 5.5/16 version which turns into a better M4A1, but that kind of defeats the purpose of it being a 50 cal. The next battle rifle you unlock is the Scarh H at rank 30. This thing is very underappreciated. It's a powerhouse of a gun. It's a 3-shot up close and 4-shot at range, and the range is good since the damage drop off starts at around 90 studs. It may have a low rate of fire, but it's compensated by its damage. With the right attachments to compensate for the vertical recoil, like a muzzle brake, this thing becomes insanely manageable. This is straight up one of my favorite battle rifles. If you don't like that it has 20 rounds, you can use the ammo conversion, but you do lose that nice 49 damage. I wholeheartedly recommend this gun. The AK-12BR is the next gun you unlock at rank 44. The BR in the name actually means the balanced recoil system. This gun doesn't actually exist in real life, it's actually just a modded AK-12 with the new recoil system. I think the closest guns that come close to representing this in real life are the AK-107 and the AK-103 chambered in .308. Other guns that use this recoil system include the SR1 and the AK-15. The AK-12BR's damage is lower than the other battle rifles in Phantom Forces, but it has a decent auto RPM and an insane 1000 RPM for burst. You can basically one burst headshot someone, which makes this insanely hard hitting. If you can't tell, the AK-12BR is really freaking good if you can get good at controlling the burst. Now if you use it in auto mode, it's pretty alright. Next up we have the G3 unlocked at rank 59. I made a video about the G3 a while ago, and pretty much this thing is on par with the Scarh H in terms of being a 3-shot to a 4-shot at range, but with a slower fire rate. Except for that headshot multiplier. A 2 times headshot multiplier on a battle rifle. What the fuck? There is a catch though. It's the sight recoil. Just like what I said in the MC51SD video, you can see a lot of visible recoil while you're firing your gun when you have your sights aimed down. And the hipfire recoil itself is actually pretty high as well. In order to mitigate that recoil, a muzzle brake with something like a stubby grip totally helps. This is pretty much the jack of all trades of battle rifles because of that 2-shot headshot damage. But we can't forget the G3's older brother, the AG3, unlocked at rank 76. Unlike the G3, there is no 2 times headshot multiplier, but there is the higher base damage. It does have a slower fire rate than the G3 though, with the G3 having 580 RPM while the AG3 has 525 RPM. The hipfire is straight up amazing though on the AG3 compared to the G3, and there is a whole lot of recoil like the G3. It takes a lot more skill to use the AG3, but if you can master it, it is a superior choice to the G3. Alright, now we have the HK417, the battle rifle variant of the HK416, which is unlocked at rank 78. In real life, the HK417 replaces the 16 in most situations, just because of the more lethal cartridge. Stats wise, it's pretty average, with 4232 damage at an RPM of 600, kinda like the Scarh H. The great thing about the HK is the fact that it can 3-shot at all ranges and effectively 2-shot headshot up to a decent range of 100 studs. The recoil is decent, but the sight recoil is a bit kinda like the G3 family. Can't tell, there's a trend here with the battle rifles having iffy visible recoil. I do recommend the 17 over the 16, but you have to keep that recoil in mind. The Henry 4570, unlocked at rank 96, is the black sheep of the battle rifle family in Phantom Forces. It's basically a modern Henry 1860, which means it's a lever action rifle. It's actually the only lever action rifle in the game. It's somehow a bit better than a sniper because it can one-shot to the torso up to 80 studs, and one-shot headshot at all ranges because of that 2.4 times headshot multiplier. It's basically a DMR with a fire rate faster than snipers. You can't use this gun like the other battle rifles, but it's killer in replacing a sniper or a DMR. There's also the P+ ammo conversion, but that gives it a bit more recoil, and you could turn this thing into a shotgun if you really wanted to with the 410 round conversion. I don't know why you'd do that, but you know what? It's all up to you. This is a pretty interesting gun, and I do indeed recommend it if you want a different playstyle. Now we have the last battle rifle in the game, but most probably one of the most iconic guns in history, the FAL. Unlocked at rank 107, the right arm of the free world is very good. It can 3-shot close and 4-shot at a distance, as well as having a high 700 RPM fire rate compared to the other battle rifles. It does have crap recoil though, with both horizontal and vertical recoil. You will most definitely need to use either a compensator or a muzzle brake with this, as well as a folding, stubby, or potato grip. Because of that 20 round mag and that high fire rate, you're gonna also need to have good trigger discipline. The FAL is a really good gun, even though it isn't my favorite battle rifle. This was kind of a long video, but basically, just use battle rifles. They offer what assault rifles don't have, damage, but at the cost of mag size and fire rate. I feel like I'm making a mistake making this video, because a lot more people now will know the true power of battle rifles. But oh well, I like to watch the world burn. Drop a like if you thought the video was either informative or just cool. Consider subscribing if you want to know when I make another video. That's about it, see you guys in the next one.